We're on the record this morning with the state auditor. There were a lot of attention on the high cost of energy in Massachusetts this winter. It was prominent, honestly, right here on News Center 5. There are a lot of questions about Mass Save, which is paid for by gas and electric customers. It is a state mandated program that's run by the utilities. It is very expensive. It is a big part of customers' bills. So how do we know that we are truly getting what we pay for? How do we know that? And do you have questions about it?
Certainly. You know, a lot of folks have reached out to our office about the Mass Save program because they are not funded with taxpayer funds, technically speaking. There is not a way to formally audit them through the Office of State Auditor.
Because they're run by utilities?
Because it's ratepayer dollars that pays to subsidize the costs associated with implementing the Mass Save program and not those state tax dollars, so to speak. However, we in the Office of State Auditor are still examining the programs at Mass Save. My Division of Local Mandates, located within the Office of State Auditor, is looking at these issues and has been for several months, and we very shortly in the coming weeks will be actually releasing a report on Mass Save.
All right. And I do want to ask this. You have been urged by a lot of supporters to run for governor. This is not the first time you've heard that. Are you exploring that?
I am not exploring that, and I really appreciate, of course, when any supporters, you know, give a vote of confidence for really anything that they think that I could or should be doing. But I am completely focused on the job at hand. We need to get this voter approved mandate regarding the audit of the legislature done. We have a lot of auditing business to accomplish. I'm not even thinking about next year, to be honest. I'm thinking wholly and entirely about the work at hand right now. This Mass Save issue, we just got the emergency shelter audit done, and I am pushing with everything that I have to make sure that that 72% voter approved law to audit the legislature, that gets done. That takes a lot of work. It's been quite a challenge, and it's taking everything I have just to make sure that that work gets done. So that's where my focus is.
Yes or no, will that get done?
Will it get done? Look, I am being incredibly optimistic and saying yes if we keep pushing. Look, but we have to make sure that we're holding leaders accountable, right? Because any day the legislature could walk in an informal session and quietly try to overturn that law. And we have to make sure that we're calling on legislative leaders not to do so, and then asking our governor to make sure that if they try to do so, that she does not sign anything, any sort of, attempt to slip this into a larger comprehensive bill, that she's going to push back on that and make sure that the law is enforced and that the Attorney General is going to enforce the law.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Diana DiZoglio was in the chair this morning. Millions of dollars have already been spent in Boston's mayor race, a grocery store family feud. And Harvard student body makes a statement at graduation right in the middle of a battle with the Trump administration. We continue on the record.